Well, welcome back to another episode of Zip Tie Custom. This episode's gonna be a little different. It ain't usual. We're gonna work on something. I already did a bunch of work to it, but something I got it for, one of my Squarebodies. And we're gonna use it quite a bit. We're gonna use it for a hot rod power tour, because we're gonna take this Chevy Dually on hot rod power tour and other car shows I'm gonna go to. But here it is. It is a 1983 Hideaway truck bed camper. It's actually rated. The book says it's rated for a half-ton, but I got it in my 1-ton dually. I can't even tell it's back here. It's an 8-foot, but it covers the taillight. Got taillights on the back, but it don't cover up your bumper or nothing. Everything seems to be working on it. I had to fix a few things, a few leaks on the roof I fixed so far. This is the camper. The camper's actually older than the truck. It seems to match. My truck needs a paint job, but hopefully I don't look like I'm just a homeless guy trying to camp out in parking lots here, but that's probably what I look like in this truck. But kind of do a little look at this thing. I got it for a really good deal. I had to fix a door handle. I can't find these door handles, but I happen to have one in the backyard on an old enclosed trailer, and I took parts out of it. It works. I just don't trust holding it shut without the bungee cord. It's a mess. I just got done using it last weekend. Oh, I dropped everything. But this is what the inside looks like. Don't mind the mess. I've been trying to work on it and also clean it. I had it clean once and then we used it. Here it is. It does have a bathroom. Just the pooper, no shower. It's got some old water damage. Nothing's like really soft other than just like I don't know, the ceiling itself. Not like the frame, I don't think. It's strong enough to hold me on the roof, so I ain't too worried about it. And this is the main thing I wanted. It's gonna suck to sleep in, but with the north and west bed, it don't like way overhang on my regular cab trucks. I don't have any crew cabs. I did have one water leak up there so far. I added this because, I gotta charge my phone and I can't sleep without a fan. I need a fan. Another problem, when you got this plugged into the wall, if you put on I think AC to charge the battery, it overcharges like 16, sometimes 17 volts. It starts off at 13 volts and it just slowly climbs from there, and I caught it before it really destroyed my battery. But I got one battery in here so far. Actually, this battery was for that homemade camper deal I had, but I got a power inverter because nothing, well, the lights work, but none of the outlets work with this thing. I still don't know how to really use this. I tried it on both. You don't get no power unless you're plugged into the wall. So, because that charger doesn't really work, I just got one of them trickle charges and it seems to be working. And I also wired a 7-pin plug into the back to charge the camper. And all I did was add a wire to the fuse box or onto the battery, and it'll charge while the truck's running. At night, if I'm using power in here, I gotta unplug the plug so it don't drain the battery. But I really got crazy on the back road. But I got a TV I mounted in here. This one's on a stud and this one's not, so I just take it off whenever I drive. Furnace works, sink works. There's no hot water, but there's water. I did convert all the lights in here, well, besides this one, because I didn't know this was a 12 volt. I thought it was a normal bulb. Converted all the bulbs to LED, which I don't really like the looks of it. So it just was too new for me, because like I like everything old, obviously. But they're gonna save on battery power during whatever trips I go on. The main one's gonna be hot rod power tour, and then the Iowa car show in Wisconsin. Them are the two main ones I really bought this for. I was going to use my pull behind camper I made, but I don't know if I trust it, especially for power tour. In power tour, you're not really supposed to pull a trailer, I don't think, but there's pictures and videos of people pulling campers. And technically with this, it doesn't overhang the truck at all, so it's like a topper. Just a really big topper. But anyway, you got just some cupboards and some food in there. Here's another water damage spot. It ain't bad. I'll show you the one in the bathroom, I suppose. This one's probably the worst, but the guy I got it from says it's been like that since he's gotten it in '93. It hasn't leaked for me, and then I had it out in the rain, so that's good. None of this leaked in the back. The only spot I had a leak was the two bottom corners of the very front window and right here, but I think I used enough caulking to fix all that. Me and my younger brother are gonna go on hot rod power tour and Iola car show together. We got somewhere good, better to sleep, and then come the end of the day or early in the morning, watch some TV, cook some food. The only really main big downside of this camper is it's got no air conditioning, but I think I'll get over that. There's enough windows in here that open to flow some fresh air through here. Another thing I really like about it is this is a gas fridge, which I'm pretty sure most of them are a gas fridge whenever, but the problem with this one is when you're driving, pilot light likes to blow out while driving, but I don't know, I might have fixed it. I haven't tried it. This weekend we're gonna do QA1 and I think Lakeville. QA1 Suspension is doing a kind of like a mini power tour, little tiny road trip. I think it's 100 miles or so. We're gonna take that on here just to make sure everything works. We're gonna turn the fridge on, make sure to see if the pilot light blows out, see how the truck handles. I mean, I took it on a 2-hour drive to go up north to the cabin to camp with it for the first time. It seemed to do fine, but here's the roof. That's the window up front that leaks above the bed. As you can tell, I put plenty of caulking. I ran out of white, so there's some black up there, but when are you gonna look at the roof? I mean, this is Zip Tie Customs. We don't do things the right way around here, but the roof's strong enough to hold me, so, and I'm like 260, I think, but there's another window. It's got a few cracks in it, but I don't think it's leaking. This one's in the bathroom. The center one doesn't leak at all. Maybe sometime this summer we'll come up here and redo it all. And being it's got only a sink, there ain't no gray tank. It's just got a black tank. Your water just runs right out the side. You should put a hose on there and run it into a jug or whatever, but just let it run down the fender. All that's going down there is water. It's got the stake pocket, hold downs. I don't really care for them. I thought I'd like them, but they're starting to twist, and they're starting to twist. I got them bolted down, but they're still, as you can tell, it's twisting a little. And these are kind of pulling down as I tighten it, which they're not pulling down that bad, I suppose, but it still worries me. We got a water tank, electric, city water, you know, propane tanks in there, fridge, back of the fridge is right there. Before power tour, we gotta get some new tires. These ones are a little beyond shot. I mean, they got good tread, well, except for these two outer duals. These were on the front before I put all the front end parts in there, so they're wore out on the insides, but other than the two outer ones that were on the front, all the tires are good, tread-wise, but they're weather cracked, and they're from 2016. And if we're doing that many miles, I don't really trust it. But as you can tell, I was fixing the roof, and that's the nice thing about having an old truck with not so good of a paint job, is you can just stand on it and not have to worry about scratching your paint or getting caulking all over it. Oh yeah, you can really tell this one's twist back, but I think that's as far as it's gonna twist back. It's just taking up the play inside that pocket hole. I got a piece of 4x4 in the front of here. This is what the old owner did because it used to wear really bad right here if you just put it up against the bed. Someone did cut the back of this bathroom thing down so it will fit inside a newer style truck. Oh, another thing I had to do is, you know, the jacks really don't fit down the side, and he used to have it on a Squarebody, but it was a crew cab single wheel 3/4 ton, and he didn't have to do anything, but he had 3-inch blocks on there just so it wasn't so tight on the rear wheels when he was putting them on. So he had blocks on this one and the very front one. So what I did is I took the block from that side, put over here, so we had 2 blocks on this side, which got us enough room. And then for the other side, the back one you don't gotta do nothing with, but for this side, this is where my Zip Tie Customs comes into play. It's not really any zip ties, but there's a piece of 6x6 wood with a 2x6 on it and some random bolts through there. And it got it out just enough to clear the dually fenders, so if you want to see that, you can just I don't know if I posted it on my personal Facebook or my Facebook page, but anyway, I don't know if it's on there, but I had a piece 6x6 and 2x6 on that side, and 2 random pieces of metal blocks on this side. It is nice in my red truck, the lifted truck, but she seemed kind of top heavy being it's lifted, but that might have also been because we had a 2-inch piece of foam in the bottom of the bed. That's just how the old owner hauled it, and I just put it on here exactly how he put it on his old truck. I took the foam out when I put it in the dually, and it's really stable in this truck. I can't even tell this thing's back here. I forget it's back here. Power wise, I mean, it's just a small block 350, all stock. There ain't nothing done to the motor. It's a reman crate motor from 2016. I got all the paperwork for it, but other than that, it's all stock. It's got the SM465 manual transmission, 410 gears in the back, I believe. I can't even notice this thing's up here. We do, and it's okay because I had my dog in here. I got a vacuum. We do have some Ford fans might recognize this seat. It's like in the late 80s, early 90s Ford. Yeah, I got a Ford seat in my Chevy. If you're a bigger guy than me, it kind of sucks. And I wouldn't do this if you didn't have a tilt wheel, but I got a tilt wheel, so I can at least fit in this truck. But if you're bigger than me, I wouldn't recommend putting a Ford seat in this truck because this seat does sit up pretty high. But I like it. It's comfortable. It's got the center console. Don't have cup holders, so I just got this cheap thing, but it's broke. I like the seat. It's so much more comfortable. The only reason the stock one wasn't comfortable is because all the springs are broke. Metal bars are broke in the back. All the foam was pushed down. So that's why this seat wasn't comfortable. I could have just got another square body seat, but I got this thing for really cheap, so I just put this one in here. I had to drop the front of the gas tanks. It's got dual tanks. Had to drop the front of the dual gas tanks down just a little to get the back bolts in. Had to drill holes, but it only took me like 20 minutes to put this seat in. And I can always go back to the normal stock seat, which one day I might. But for now, we got this Ford seat. And I think we got the front end finally figured out in this truck. So I got all new parts in there. It still drove bad. Did the tape measure alignment, still drove bad. Went to my old college and did an actual alignment on it. Still didn't drive the best. Could not figure out why. It's just like it was always wanting to overcorrect itself. Like you going straight and it's slowly pulling to the right. You turn left and it just wants to dart to the left. I finally figured out what it was. So on these square body really any Chevy, I think, steering box, you got this nut and set screw or whatever, nut and screw. That is to adjust your play in your steering box of the gear mesh, I'm assuming. Well, not assuming, I don't know how to really explain it, but it adjusts your gear mesh. If you got too much slop in your steering wheel, you tighten it up a little. This one was way over tightened, and I was just fighting as you drive. So I unloosened it a bunch. It still has the same amount of steering play as it did before, and it loosened up the steering box and it drives so much better. Way better. But here's a look at the motor. I mean, it does have headers. It has a quick fuel 750 carburetor, which is too big, but I think I got it jetted. And I gotta go down a jet size or two in the secondaries, but for now, it's jetted good enough for me. It is an AC truck, but all these bolts were stripped out, and I feel so bad doing this because it's an AC truck, but I had to self-tapper this box back in just to get heat for the winter. But it's not a perfect firewall anyways. You can always re-weld them holes back up. There's a look at that's one of the fixes I did to the steering box. Now I lost track of what I was talking about. I might put it back in the red truck to do some off-roading up north and some off-road trails. I don't know yet. We might put it in the red truck, but for now, it's going to be in the dually. And you'll see it on Hot Rod Power Tour and the Iola Car Show in Wisconsin. But anyway, that's my 1983 Hideaway camper and my 86 Chevy 1-ton. If you want to see more of these videos, just comment, let me know. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.